Let's start by covering the key security and compliance considerations for using generative AI with your data. One of the big benefits of generative AI solutions is that it makes it super easy for users to discover data, even data that they might not have known they have access to. Look at the example here, where the user is simply asking about documents on media communications, and the tool talks about a document called Layoff Project Plan in 2026. Now imagine if the user was not supposed to have access to this project or to this document, but now they know about it even if they didn't ask about it specifically. Not what we really want. You need to be aware that artificial intelligence tools will amplify your security posture, and too many organizations are currently using security by obscurity when it comes to internal accesses, which means that they assume or hope that employees will not find or access data because they don't know about it, even if the users have access to it because of bad permissions. Now we'll be honest, that approach was never good, and adding AI on top of it will make it even worse because AI is an amplifier of your current status. As you work on integrating your data into your GenAI solution, one of the first things you will need to do is to make sure that each user only has access to the data that they need to have access in order to do their work and nothing more. And while this course will really focus on the generative AI project, this is something that should be your top priority and something that you should honestly start today, whether you plan to do your generative AI project in a day or a year from now. Securing your data should be a top priority. Securing your data right now will help you prevent data breaches, prevent accidental leaks of data, and it will also improve other employee productivity functions, such as search, for example. Now, let's talk about compliance. Each company has different compliance standards that they need to follow, and as you start implementing a generative AI solution in your organization, there are many things that you need to consider, and even more if you want to integrate your data in them. Let's talk about some of the things that you need to do to prepare from a compliance point of view. First of all, make sure that you know all the different compliance regulations that you need to follow. This way, you can look at the requirements for each one. Make sure you verify if your chosen generative AI solution shares any data with other customers or trains the public model with your data. We have seen this happen with some AI solutions, so make sure that you know what are the privacy implications of integrating your data with that specific AI solution. You also need to make sure that you understand your data processing requirements and then check if your chosen GenAI solution will respect those requirements. For example, would it process any data in the US, even if your compliance requirements says that your data must remain in Europe? That might have some big compliance implications. You should also check your chosen GenAI solution and make sure that there are no features that go against your compliance standard. One example I saw recently was when implementing a copilot at a customer in Europe, they couldn't use the meeting recap because they were not allowed to record meetings. So that's one of the examples to look at. Check all the features and compare them to what is needed for your Gen AI solution. Finally, you need to understand what are the copyright implications of using generative AI solutions with your data and especially with what your employees create. You need to make sure that you maintain that ownership of everything. Also, remember that compliance is a team sport and usually involves multiple people and roles inside the company. So make sure that you involve everyone needed for a full picture on your security and compliance requirements. One important thing to remember is that security and compliance aren't only a one-time task. As your data, users, and AI capabilities evolve, you need ongoing processes to continuously review, enforce, and improve how your data is protected.